Reincarnation Part 2. Hinduism teaches that the soul goes on repeatedly being born and dying. One is reborn on account of desire. A person desires to be born because he or she wants to enjoy worldly pleasures, which can be enjoyed only through a body. Hinduism does not teach that all worldly pleasures are sinful, but it teaches that they can never bring deep, lasting happiness or peace. Nanda. According to the Hindu sage Adi Shankaracharya, the world, as we ordinarily understand it, is like a dream, fleeting and illusory. To be trapped in samsara is a result of ignorance of the true nature of our existence. After many births, every person eventually becomes dissatisfied with the limited happiness that worldly pleasures can bring. At this point, a person begins to seek higher forms of happiness, which can be attained only through spiritual experience. When, after much spiritual practice, a person finally realizes his or her own divine nature, i.e., realizes that the true self is the immortal soul, rather than the body or the ego, all desires for the pleasures of the world will vanish, since they will seem insipid compared to spiritual Nanda. When all desire has vanished, the person will not be reborn anymore. When the cycle of rebirth thus comes to an end, a person is said to have attained moksha, or salvation from samsara. While all schools of thought agree that moksha implies the cessation of worldly desires and freedom from the cycle of birth and death, the exact definition of salvation depends on individual beliefs. For example, followers of the Advaita Vedanta school, often associated with Jnana Yoga, believe that they will spend eternity absorbed in the perfect peace and happiness that comes with the realization that all existence is one, Brahman, and that the immortal soul is part of that existence. The followers of full or partial Dvaita schools, dualistic schools, such as Bhakti Yoga, on the other hand, perform their worship with the goal of spending eternity in a loka, spiritual world or heaven, in the blessed company of the Supreme Being, i.e. Krishna or Vishnu for the Vaishnavas and Shiva for the dualistic schools of Shaivism. The principal Hindu gods are Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva and their consorts Brahmani, Lakshmi and Parvati. While there is hardly any text describing reincarnation of Brahma and Brahmani, the rest of the gods are known to have reincarnated in various forms under different circumstances. Lord Vishnu is known for his 10 reincarnations, namely Dashavatara. Skeptic Carl Sagan asked the Dalai Lama what would he do if a fundamental tenet of his religion, reincarnation, was definitively disproved by science. The Dalai Lama answered, if science can disprove reincarnation, Tibetan Buddhism would abandon reincarnation, but it's going to be mighty hard to disprove reincarnation.